the meat.
Welcome back from the break. This is Mostly Superheroes. I'm your host, Logan, here in the studio with PC Mike and the Giggler. MCU Town over here talking about fresh off episode 6 of the Disney series Loki. It just happened. We can't wait to talk about it. We're in phase 4 of the MCU. Title number 26. You can find it all at mostlysuperheroes.com/MCU. All the titles can be found there. Reviews, connections, how's it all fit, and even a preview of what's to come in the rest of phase 4 this year and into 22 and 23. Lots of stuff happening. Talking about this show, Tom Hiddleston came in as Loki as 6 episodes. Disney Plus, the 3rd series of the year. I can't believe that it's come and gone. We watched it today. It's Wednesday, July 14th. The title is For All Time, Always, title of the episode, and it clocked in at 47 minutes. Description from Disney Plus reads, the clock is ticking in the season finale, which finds Loki and Sylvie on a date with destiny. PC Mike, Giggler, we have not talked about this at all with each other. We're doing it right here on air. Want to do some live reactions right now of how we felt about this thing. Giggler, let's start with you, man. How did the show go for you, and how did this finale sit with you after those credits ran?
Actually, I didn't watch it. I had a variant of myself watch it for me.
Oh, that's really good. Like a COVID variant?
No.
Oh.
F those variants.
Thank God. What'd your variant think of this thing?
Well,
first of all, it's short.
He reported back that it was the best episode of any Marvel TV show yet.
Whoa. Holy cow. Best episode?
Yeah.
All right.
You think so? I don't know.
You have the floor right now. I'll take my turn here in a minute.
It'd be tough for me to find a better one.
Wow.
I'll say that.
That's no, I'm glad to hear it. You had a lot of fun with it. And then obviously a big ending that I can't wait to talk about with you. PC Mike, how'd this go for you, man? Coming in as the newer MCU fan when you started Most Superheroes, your three shows in this year. How did this one finish for you?
It is my favorite thing Marvel has ever put out.
Is that a joke or are you serious?
No, I'm dead serious.
Wow.
Heck yeah.
These are some strong reactions.
I think that show set up everything that we know for Marvel for the next 10 years.
Everything. And just like Kevin Feige
Yeah.
said, the biggest MCU ramifications happen in this show right here. Okay, can't wait to break this open with you two. I'm going to sit with you guys. I'm going to tell you the truth. I love it as well. It's super great. Easily the best one out of the 3. Talking about WandaVision, The Falcon Winter Soldier. Giggler knows, talked about it last week. Talked about episode 5. I came in with kind of a distasteful, taste in my mouth about how I was feeling about this. And after reflecting on it, looking at each show, looking at each episode, thinking about it, this show is amazing. It's so great. High stakes, action-packed. Are there some downtime? Are there some filler episodes? Yeah, and guess what? That's TV sometimes. So, yeah, I think there could be an improvement maybe on the Lamentus episode. Maybe there could have been more that happened in episode 3. But episode 6, man, what an ending. Let's just talk about the story. We'll work our way through it because, honestly, this is one that we can move through kind of quickly, just the episode itself, and then we're going to talk about what we think is happening, the stakes, the villains, things we called, things we didn't call. Again, the 47-minute, shorter episode. I was kind of bummed to see that, but it gets right to it where we leave off in episode 5. Sylvie and Loki, they're at the edge of time. They're in the void, and they subdue Alioth, the big purple smoke monster. They get this thing to sleep. They go into a castle. Who's it going to be?
We said she was sus.
And I guess what? Well, she's still just the assistant. We do see Miss Minutes right when they walk in, but we called it. I'm going to say I called it, but it was one of 3 choices, so it was like a multiple choice. Kang the Conqueror, right?
Never referred to as his name.
Never said his name in the episode.
A variant thereof.
Exactly. A variant thereof. We meet this Jonathan. We meet this Jonathan Bridges, who you might recognize from the HBO show
Jonathan Majors.
Oh, am I getting mixed up?
I think you said Bridges.
You said Jonathan Bridges?
I said Jonathan Bridges?
Yeah.
Who's that?
I don't know.
Jonathan
Jeff
Majors.
Bridges' son?
He's in that HBO show, too. Jonathan Majors. It's like the
Lovecraft Country.
Lovecraft Country.
I haven't seen it, but I'm going to now.
And, here he is. Let's just break it open. They go in. He starts talking, and it's me, man. I did all this, except, I didn't. Basically, what we were taught by the TVA, it depends on if you take what this guy says as truth. is the biggest thing. Because he's
Exactly.
telling Loki and Sylvie a story. He never says his name. He says that there are other variants of him that did fight in a multiversal war. Things that we were told by the TVA that was real. He gives like some really nice clay animations.
Yeah, they got greedy.
And they got greedy. They started fighting because they were helping each other out, he said. And then I'm saying the Kangs, all right?
Yeah.
Because at
It's
the
fair.
end,
It's fair.
the end too, we get like a look at the statue. All the Kangs, or whoever he is, all decided to fight against each other. Well, this guy, he says that what he did was he basically won. And how does he do this? He did it by destroying all of the multiverses that would start to exist and sending them to the void to be destroyed by Alioth. He discovered Alioth in his journeys. He studied it. He learned how to control it. And he placed himself at the end of time and created the TVA as a way to make his own timeline the sacred timeline that we've been learning about this whole time. And the big question here is, Sylvie and Loki, do we believe him? Do we trust him? Sylvie's here to kill him on a revenge path from her childhood, from being snatched up as a kid, and her whole life's ruined. She's here to kill. Loki's not buying it. And then we get this really emotional fight scene between Loki and Sylvie. And I mean, I'm telling you, man, I felt it. And I was sad. And I was like a little kid, like being like, stop.
Yeah. You're
Stop
like, are they about
fighting.
to like fight or are they about to F? Like,
Are they about to kiss? Yeah, what are they about to
oh
do
yeah,
here?
just kiss. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you say F.
It's Disney Plus.
You
Disney
said-
Plus.
You said F. That's friendlier than Deadpool.
I know.
And and then you think they're gonna come to terms and like agree, and he kind of calms Sylvie down. What's Sylvie do? Opens up a time door, kicks him through, and even though this character, I don't even know what to call him because he didn't say his name. He says if you have two options, you can kill me like you came here to do, and it will cause chaos because all the multiverses will come back, and the war will start up again.
Yeah. The
He's like,
Kangs
or
will-
you take over.
And you be my timekeepers, basically. Right?
That's exactly it.
Oh, he who remains. That's what we call him.
That's what Miss Minutes
That's
calls
what-
him.
yeah,
He
that's-
who remains.
He called himself that too, but then he also mentioned that the other Kang variants were trying to conquer.
Yes, bless you. And they did. Like that's that. That was the
So-
other thing. They were. He's like, well, that's what he said, right? I've been known as many names: a king, a conqueror,
A
Some-
jerk.
a jerk. And he even said, like in the 31st century, I was a billionaire scientist. And I was like, okay, well, in the comic lore, Kang is Reed Richards' son or something from a future.
Nathaniel Richards.
Nathaniel Richards, and that's how and then he gets into time travel. So I mean, all to say that's comic book. Don't take that as fact, and that's all we get on the guy. And Sylvie makes a decision: kick Loki back to the TVA, where we see Owen Wilson's Mobius talking to Ravonna. He comes back for his revenge, and doesn't get it. She kicks him on the floor and walks through a door. A lot of that happened in this episode. What happened to Ravonna?
The pen.
Miss Minutes slipped her some memory where she said, "Where's the files on the beginning of time?" And Miss Minutes says,
He wants you to know this.
"He wants you to know this. He thinks that this will send you on a better path." And she kicks Mobius down, goes to the door. That's the last time we see her in the episode.
The pen.
Tell me about the pen.
Remember that like episode 1 or 2, we were like freaking out about the pen that they were zooming in on in her office. It's like Franklin Roosevelt High School or
Mhm.
whatever. And then
Oh, she's a teacher there.
it was something like that.
And then we get the flashback, or not a flashback, where's the one timekeeper TVA cop that got her memory? I don't know her name. She has a number. She has a number. They all have numbers.
Yeah. Yep.
Like T185 or something like
Yep.
that. And she goes back. She goes through a time door. ends up at
B15.
E15, B15.
Yeah, Hunter B15.
There
That's
you go.
it, Hunter B15. She goes into 2018. You guys remember where?
It was in Texas, I think.
I don't remember.
It was somewhere in the United States. It was it was some United States high school, and Ravonna is there as her non-variant self, like the human version, and then that's how she's explaining to a TVA, another cop, like, see, we gotta figure
Yeah.
this out.
Yeah.
And so yeah, going back to Sylvie and Loki. So Loki gets kicked through the door. She stabs, call him Kang for now, in the chest. Jonathan Majors, he dies, and he's like giggling first. And then you see behind him just the multiverse just really taking shape. That timeline is just branching off. She
you-
just stands there and sees. Go ahead.
If you zoom in close enough, you can see Tobey Maguire's face.
Is that a joke?
I'm just kidding.
Hey,
Bully bar.
you know what we didn't?
I wish.
You know what we didn't talk about? The very beginning of this episode, while the Marvel credits
Ooh,
ran.
yeah, that
while they
was-
were flipping.
That was cool.
You could hear voices
Mhm.
from throughout the MCU.
I like that a lot.
All sorts of
It gave me chills.
yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. You could hear. I could do this all day, and then even the other one going. I know from Endgame. Like
Yep.
it's definitely both Steve Rogers. You're like, what's going on here?
Yep.
So the multiverse is branching off. She just kind of stands there, right? Sylvie's like, I don't know what I just did. Loki goes and finds Mobius in the library at the TVA with that hunter, B-15, and they say the same thing. Well, does he want us to stop all the branches from breaking? What does he want us to do? And Loki comes up. Mobius doesn't even remember Loki at all.
Wild.
Doesn't remember him at all. And
He's on a different timeline.
they're looking at the screen, and yeah, but like, does the TVA live in a different timeline?
I guess this is a reality where
Where-
Kang didn't have the timekeepers and he just was like, yeah, I'm going to do this myself.
Because when Loki looks up and he's so confused that Mobius doesn't know him, what's he see? A statue of, again, Jonathan Major's character, but this time it does kind of look like Kang from the comics, right? Doesn't it have the
Mhm.
thing on its
Yeah, a
face?
little bit
Or am I
more,
making
yeah.
that up?
No, it definitely looked a little bit more.
Okay.
It definitely in the face area. No, I did see it. Did look like, I couldn't tell if it was hair or like that helmet type thing.
Right.
sure, but, like,
exactly.
You
It
could
was-
tell the vibe. Like, I couldn't believe when that elevator door or whatever opened.
you were
I was
like,
like-
yeah, because we didn't say like it was an elevator.
I was like,
That was the
What
reveal.
the F? I could not believe it.
Yes, I know.
They
Because what
actually
we
did
say,
it.
we said we're like that would be way too high stakes. But guess what happened to this thing, man? The most high stakes thing that's like ever happened. PC Mike said it. The most high stakes in the MCU are happening, I think, right now. And I think we said I've been seeing the memes online, and I'm just going like, man, we called this multiverse of madness.
Now we're about to have.
I wonder what it's about. You
Yeah,
know, like
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
this is but and there's a lot in between to where like I think it's gonna start like cracking into all sorts of movies and shows.
I hope so. I mean, obviously with Loki too. Like, what is that going to be like?
In mid-credit scene, Loki will return in season 2. So there we go. I mean, there it is. Confirmed.
I was very sad that was the only credit scene, but
Me too. And
Mhm.
it's a cliffhanger. You know, Loki's there. You see the statue. It goes dead, and it says Loki will return in season 2. We talked about it. We've heard about it. We had heard rumors there might be a season 2. Okay, great. When? We still don't have a Spider-Man Far From Home, No Way Home trailer. We still don't.
what's stopping them now?
Well, I thought it was this, but like, when is it gonna drop? It's got to be like, I mean, maybe tomorrow, maybe Friday.
Has there ever been a movie that just didn't have a trailer?
that would
Are they
be-
trying to do something crazy like that?
Well,
Do they need a trailer?
you know what?
No.
That's why I'm like, maybe they just don't do it. How
Well,
wild would that be?
I wish they would have done that with Spider-Man Far From Home because they let the trailer out before Endgame even came out, and it was a major spoiler. It was
Yeah.
like, oh, Spider-Man's alive.
Yeah, good point.
I'm just saying, like, maybe they've changed their trajectory. Either way, what else we got? Shang-Chi. No idea about this character. The Eternals.
But is,
I
that
mean,
gonna, is that going to go through one of the older timelines, maybe?
Exactly. And are the Eternals more powerful? Like, are there different variants of the Eternals? Are they like a level above that?
So, I mean, Kang, whatever one you want to look at, is way more powerful than Thanos, right? Because he knew exactly what he was going to do, technically.
Yeah, and also Kang, if you're talking about just him versus Thanos, he's got drawerfuls of Infinity Stones.
True, but I think in the
Were they
comics
Infinity
they don't
Stones?
in the comics they don't work unless you're in that reality. So now there's all those.
Oh, right. If you're
Realities.
in a different
Either you're
reality,
just
but if you go
paperweights.
back to it, you could just
But
rule
his
that
sacred,
one.
his
Yeah.
sacred timeline, he had all of them, right?
Yeah, but Andy's saying you got to be in like the reality where those stones came
Gotcha.
from.
Yeah.
What,
don't know.
What
But
else
that's-
we got?
So on the whole, who is or Kang or who is he? What to call him thing? So
Mm-hmm.
I'll give a shout out to Phase Zero, Brandon Davis podcast last week. I cannot remember the person's name, but one of them was like, I don't think it's Kang. I think it's going to be Immortus, which is the like future self of a Kang variant. So
Hmm.
I think that's probably maybe what the intention was. Definitely I mean, he was wearing purple. So
Yeah.
I read like 20 comics with Kang in it, and that's definitely him. So
Well,
I love it.
And I was thinking like along those lines when I was watching it. He's talking and he's like, I'm a millennia year old. I'm so tired.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's been through a lot, and I thought like, you know what's gonna happen? Like we're gonna miss this Kang. Like we're
Yeah.
gonna get like a real villain that is like, you know, middle aged and cynical.
Yeah.
and
This
like
dude's Willy Wonka. Like, I need someone to do my job for me now. I'm picking you.
he's trying to he's trying to Charlie the Chocolate Factory this thing. He's like, you got to take this thing over. Yeah, what was that all about? Like, what is it with the Lokis?
So, Renslayer's location is in an Ohio school.
Okay.
Okay,
I
and
thought it was Texas for some reason.
it was Ohio.
So, didn't something just come up with Ohio and Black Widow?
Yeah, we just talked about Black
yeah,
Widow.
that's
Spoiler
where-
alert! Spoiler alert! If you haven't seen it, because like it depends on when you're watching this review, but like, yeah, that's where
They grew up, basically.
they grew up, and Natasha Romanoff's body was buried after like Endgame.
Her real name's Rebecca Tormenette.
Well, and now that the show's over, I don't know. Like, I still don't want to give like that thing we read about Ravana because I'm like, there's a season 2 now. So
Yeah.
maybe, let's just leave that
Yeah.
alone
Yeah, I agree. It just
because
So-
it could be a major spoiler.
One big thing I saw online, people are comparing this to the creation of the world as we know it if you believe in the Bible. So, Kang has an apple.
Yeah, he's eating an apple like throughout the whole
What?
speech.
What did Eve eat
about
to
to get
ruin,
deep.
What did Eve eat to ruin the Garden of Eden?
It was an apple.
It was an apple.
Yes,
Adam and Eve.
because Devil Snake talked her into it.
Yeah. Loki and Sylvie.
And this guy's like,
Yeah.
now you take it.
Mm-hmm.
And Sylvie's like, I'll stab you.
Yeah. So he gave him the choice, just like the apple,
Yes.
and she chose
And
sin
and then
instead of.
instead of just whatever,
Yes.
which I love Loki's point. Can we just talk about this for a minute?
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing? Like, we at least have to consider what he's talking about. Like, are you willing to cause all out war? But also,
But do you think this Kang did it because that's what he wanted?
yeah, because he was giggling when he got stabbed.
yeah.
And I think so, but like to Sylvie's point of like moving, like going forward with it, like I don't put her in the evil full-on category. It was definitely a revenge thing. And her bigger point was you don't get to decide ever who lives or dies.
That's wild. The whole part about it is like
Because she's saying
politics.
exactly. Well, she's saying like the multiverse is supposed. Like, here's some questions no one is really asking: is the multiverse like? Shouldn't it like? Is it supposed to be real? And then you're like getting into like, well, who's to say? Who are you to tell me my multiverse can't exist? You're getting some real philosophical stuff of like you got people at the top deciding. It's no different than different countries. You know, it's like Kang the Conqueror. He sugarcoated his story. What happened? He fought in that multiversal war and he won. He was the sacred timeline. He created the TVA and figured out a system to keep everybody else getting eaten up by Aliath. So she decided I'm gonna kill the villain, and then boom, man,
He created multiple villains now.
I mean, that's the thing now is like what will happen. We are in for some crazy cosmic level war stuff, movie jumping, character all over the place. Who's going to be in what? I don't think we've gotten this trailer for Spider-Man because we're not ready for what's going to happen in this movie.
Can you imagine what? Like my brain's gonna just completely shut down when I get that text or tweet that the trailer's finally out.
Just going to just get to your phone. Yeah.
I'm like on a work call and I'm like, I'll call you right back. Something came up. Sorry.
Something came up. Well, Kevin Feige, man, he didn't lie when he said high stakes. What other thoughts you have on this thing? How did you enjoy the show? Did you enjoy the pacing of it? Did you just things you could have left out? Like,
So in terms of superhero shows, it's probably my favorite of all time.
right? Okay, wow, amazing.
I mean, what's better? If you're just talking straight superhero shows,
maybe Smallville,
for you, probably Smallville.
but only
a lot of
but only
nostalgia.
for me. But like this is 6 episodes.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
I'm with you.
it's
Like,
not
there's
Arrow,
there's-
it's not The
no,
Flash.
It's not. You're right.
It's not Captain Winter Soldier. It's not WandaVision. Thank God they didn't have a WandaVision letdown here.
Yeah,
It's the opposite.
WandaVision might be like pretty up there, but like yeah, it doesn't compare.
Titans.
Doesn't compare.
Nah, I agree.
Batman animated series is probably my 1 or 2.
Yeah, you guys
That's
already
a
said
good-
you guys nerded out over this finale. The show, love it. Me too. Like I said, it took me a little talking through it to get there, but
Tom Hiddleston might be the best character in all of the MCU.
And I'm happy that
Oh man,
he
what
has a
that's big
path
statement.
forward now to being in it full time.
That's still exactly because now we know there's a second season. Remember what I was scared of? I thought for sure one was going to die. Then they're fighting against each other. I was like, oh, I don't want to be right about this. And now they're both alive. What happened to Sylvie? She's just still there. Like, what happened to that? And what's going to happen in season 2? Is it going to be picking up where this leaves off, or are we going to have a whole series of things that happen between now and the second season?
That's exactly what I'm thinking of. Like, what would make the most sense for that? Because season 2 wouldn't come out until
2023.
Yeah. So that would be after like all those movies, like Thor: Love and Thunder, everything would already be passed. So.
I legit can't wrap my brain around time with this because she was taken from 2018.
Yep.
And she was the leader of the TVA, and like time doesn't exist here.
Yeah, because there was no. Yeah, exactly.
So it like time and how
Like,
they're gonna do this and pull it together. I'm just gonna sit back and watch. I'm not even gonna try.
It is so confusing.
And I'm exactly with you. It's like I feel like you just need to see it, see what happens, and then this is what they want. You just keep watching in order.
But not Black Widow. You have to put Black Widow right after Civil War.
Yeah, you do. You don't watch Black Widow between Falcon the Winter Soldier and Loki unless you're just watching the end credit scene. I won't say what it is, just in case. All right, anything else on this one, guys? Loki, it came and went just like that, and we're going to have a little hiatus before the next one. We'll talk about Phase 4 in a second, but that was episode 6. Should we rate this thing? I think we've been rating the series.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, we have.
You go first, PC Mike.
I mean,
you can do it fast, I bet.
3.8.
Wow. Oh, my.
I said it's the best all time.
Andy?
3.7.
And I'll go 3.6.
Okay.
3.8's like Endgame level. I can't do that.
Yeah, I'll go 3.6. That's fair.
I think this was better than Endgame.
Because you start lining this up against other MCU titles. It's not.
It made Endgame for me.
But for you, sure,
be
that's
small.
fair.
Endgame is a blip now.
See,
compared to this.
We got to be careful. His ratings spiking up our ratings. I feel like Andy. We got to watch it. PC Mike. He gets excited. We get real excited.
Kang knew Endgame was going to happen. He just let it play out.
Oh man, Endgame. Well, it's like again, these things are in drawers.
Okay. Hey, and here's my thing.
Go ahead.
I love using Thanos as a gift, like to send to people.
Yeah.
But Kang, I think, at least had a plan. Thanos wanted to go plant in a garden after he killed half the world.
This guy had a plan, and he's like, I'm just tired.
Yeah.
I'm so tired.
He's like, I'm done.
But he had a good setup though. The TVA was running everything.
But I think there's going to be something like he knew what he was laughing. He's like, I got you to do what I wanted you to do.
Right? Was he
and create madness?
And then they're really mind effing me because I'm like, oh, we're gonna love this Kang. What if we like love him and then we really hate him?
Well, I loved him because he did a great job portraying him. Like I was just like super intrigued.
Of every word.
He was like his delivery of the character. I was just like, I'm so excited because I was skeptical at 1st. Like I've read about this person in comics and just knew that it was coming in the MCU. That was it. Like I didn't know. Like you can't really get that vibe when you're reading comics because you're just reading words. Like he delivered the lines super well. Like I was very impressed and like I'm so excited for whatever the hell he's going to be in next, honestly.
Well, and one thing that we said that like they probably weren't going to do was bring in a big character like this, but they did. I just think that Loki was a different thing. Mike's right too. Tom Hiddleston's Loki. It's funny. Like he's a villain, but like he's on a different caliber even than like Wanda. He's just different. Like
he's somebody. Did you guys send it to me? Like on Marvel's website, he's moved from villain to the hero category.
Well, yeah. Well, this version, because this guy's definitely trying to like save everybody, but he's also like, she's like, you want the throne? He's like, I don't want that. I was like, mine's breaking my heart, man. These two are great. These two actors, Tom Hiddleston, this gal that plays Sylvie, I don't have her name in front of me.
Sophia DiMartino.
Unbelievable. Just brings it way to go, Andy. I am curious. Like, the show is called Loki. It's a surrounded Loki. It's about Lokis. But, like, why was it? Like, why did Kang... He's like, I paved the road for you to get here. And he's like, you go into the void. You coming through Alioth. He's like, I paved the whole road. He's like, I never thought that two people could do it. And like, you guys are the same person. And you're falling in love. And it shouldn't happen. It shouldn't work. But man, if this place needs to be run by two people, and those two people are you, I'm pretty close on what he said there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What is he talking about? Is it because of like how they are, because this whole series is a lesson about Lokis, right? They always betray. They can't be trusted. But like,
And it's good and evil kind of in this last scene. She chooses the evil act and he chooses the kind act.
but in her mind, she was choosing the good act.
Or
Too.
revenge act.
It was revenge. It was in the name of revenge. You're not wrong about that. I don't know. I mean, that's a big question because the show's about Loki, but like, I don't know, man. What a show. Way to go. This one really brought it.
Yeah.
We could do this for hours, but I'm like on Screen Rant, like
Go.
things you miss and things.
Go.
So he eats an apple the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Doctor Strange practices wielding the eye of
Agamotto.
by
Mm.
rewinding and eating an apple.
He does in the movie. He backs up the apple.
So-
and it's a green one, too.
So I don't know.
Might just be
There's
Wand-
gonna be
that-
spoilers
That
and
might be
things.
like a WandaVision type
Yeah.
theory.
I
Like,
don't know. It's on Screen Rant. I didn't create the website.
all I'm saying, the memes are out there, but like, we had original thoughts on this. Doctor Strange, yeah, he's going to be busy.
Yeah, that's what we should do. Is we should start blasting out everyone else's bad predictions and
Yeah.
only talking about our ones that
yeah,
are
that was
correct.
ScreenRant.com, not me.
Hey, yeah, that's right. That was Screen Rant. Well, you can tell what I've been doing. Like, even for Black Widow, we did it earlier. I do like what we called, what we didn't call. So I'm trying to let you guys know where we got it wrong, where we got it right. I mean, we had it down to 3. We said it's either another Loki, a Kang the Conqueror, or Miss Minutes. And guess what? It was
2 out of 3.
2 out of 3, and the show was called Loki. So I'm just saying, like, I think we did a pretty damn good job.
We
Give
did.
it up for us. Just to pat our own backs.
Yep.
All right, man. We have a break, right? So Loki, episode 6, you can find that on our MCU page, mostlysuperheroes.com/MCU. We got reviews of the whole season out there from beginning to end. So go check it out. And with that, let's talk about what's coming up on the show.